Imagine going into the donut shop and saying, "I'll have 3 donuts, please." And then the donut guy says, "Sure, here's your 3 donuts." And you do that every day for years. And then one day you think, "I'd like to eat less donuts." So you say, "2 donuts, please." And the shop owner says, "Sure, you can eat 2 donuts, but you still have to pay for 3. What? That doesn't sound fair. Well, for starters, this story is not about donuts. It's about water bills. Now hang with me for a second, because several North Texas communities say they are paying millions of dollars for water they don't want and they don't use. Is that true? Let's verify. Okay, this story is about the North Texas Municipal Water District. It provides drinking water to a whole bunch of North Texas suburbs.
It is a significant impact to the rates that our citizens pay.
That's Plano City Manager Mark Israelson. He's telling me because of contract provisions with the Water District, 800,000 residents of Plano, Richardson, Garland, and Mesquite have paid $275 million for water they never used. And by contract, they can't sell it or even give it to another community that might want it. On a regular year, how much water are you leaving on the table?
We're typically leaving 4 to 5 billion gallons on the table. But if we're not using it, we want that allocation to be redone so that we're paying our fair share.
4 to 5 billion gallons unused? Plano says the problem is a provision called take or pay. Say this glass is the maximum amount of water that Plano has ever used in 2001. Even if they're taking much less today, they still have to pay for that maximum.
In 2001, all cities had the same opportunity to water 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It was really in a growth mode.
Plano's usage has been falling ever since. And in 2015, the Water District made a big change to permanently slow the use of water. It asked all cities to enforce twice-a-week watering restrictions, not just during drought, but all the time.
I think that our opportunity for water was cut significantly when you go from 7 days a week to twice a week.
Because you could never essentially hit that number again if you can only water twice a week?
Correct. The circumstances and the opportunity we had was cut significantly by going from 7 to 2. It's simple math.
"75 miles north of Dallas near Bonham, the Water District is building the $1.5 billion Lower Bodark Reservoir. It will add capacity by flooding about 17,000 acres of land."
Take and pay is an outdated methodology, and in this state, we need to do something better.
That's environmentalist Rita Beving. And while the Water District generally gets high marks for its conservation, like twice-a-week watering, she says take-or-pay contracts discourage additional water conservation, particularly at a time when North Texas population is exploding.
Why ask your residents to do anything when you're going to pay for a certain high capacity of water no matter what?
You're going to pay for it anyway. Why ask the cities?
Right.
Why ask the residents for a little more pain?
Right. And in this case, there's been a lot of pain the last number of years. Water rates are going up 5 to 10% every single year.
Between cost, the red tape of regulation, and environmental damage, building new reservoirs is incredibly challenging. Bodark is the first major new reservoir built in Texas in 30 years. Rita says whatever communities can do to avoid new reservoirs, they should do.
Having a better, more efficient, structured water rate for cities is going to inspire all those cities to ask all their residents to adopt better and more conservation.
Cities like Plano hate the take-or-pay contract and they want it changed, so they just pay for what they use. But there are 13 cities in this contract, and they would all have to unanimously approve any changes to it. The trouble with that is, unlike Plano, some cities like Frisco and McKinney are growing fast and generally need more water. If the contract changes and the Planos pay less, the residents of the Friscos and McKinneys would probably end up paying more. There's not much incentive to agree to that. The Water District declined to be interviewed for this story, but their general position is it built expensive infrastructure based on Plano's needs, and the way Plano pays for that is by buying the water. So are some North Texans paying millions of dollars for water they don't use? The answer is yes. Is it fair for cities like Plano to want to change the rules in the middle of the game? Maybe not. But a contract that doesn't take into account real-world water use and takes a unanimous vote to change it Well, that doesn't put all of us on the same page when it comes to water conservation. If you've got something you want verified, send me an email.